Alrighty. So here I am. This is my first YouTube live stream. And the reason for my presence here today is Get Out Your Guitar Day. Yes, today is the day, February 11th, that internationally the world celebrates, if you have a guitar, um, getting it out. So I've got guitars all around me and thought it would be fun to chat about it with people who love the guitar and with people who admire it from afar. So let's get started. Eventually, I'll go through all the guitars that are here just to chat a little bit. But for starters, I will be sharing a piece of original music that's. Let me plug in. I should have done that before, but. So, yep, my name is Andrea. I live in Houston, Texas. I've been a teacher for many years. And in the last 20 years or so, I've had a lot of opportunity to travel around and to meet people through teaching Suzuki method guitar, which you may or may not have heard of. It's more well known as a strings method for violin and cello and so forth, but it also exists for guitar as well. So having that opportunity to build off of, I've been able to travel to a lot of different places and meet a lot of different people, and I'm gonna talk about what a lot of us have in common, and that is a love for the guitar. So it's Get Out Your Guitar Day 2026, February 11th. And here's one of mine. And I'll play an original tune on this. The tune is called Ginny's Jig. All right. Jenny was a family friend who loved Irish dancing. And she's no longer with us, but I think of her, I thought of her when this theme started. I started messing around with it and I thought of her and I wanted to name it after her so that I'd have an excuse to talk about her when I play it. So this is Ginny's Jig in honor of Ginny, who loved St. Patrick's Day and spent her whole year planning around what she was going to do and where she was going to go to Irish dance on St. Patrick's Day. So here we go. Alrighty, so that was one of my original tunes called Ginny's Jig. All right. Again, first live stream. Learning along the way. So, yes, get out your guitar day. That is something that, if you're a guitarist, you might say, you know what, it's been a long time since I got the guitar out. That it could be a hobby, even if it's your job. Sometimes you get it out for what you need to get it out for. Like a lot of teachers get it out only when they're teaching. So my whole motive for having this chat here today is that if you own a guitar, chances are pretty good that you love it, or you love listening to it, or you have some attachment to it. So I want to build some foundations here that can have you thinking positively about spending time with it, especially on Get Out Your Guitar Day. So first of all, I think something that holds us back is holding up a picture of who you want to be. I know years ago when Eddie Van Halen was really popular, or when the band Van Halen was popular, everybody wanted to play like Eddie. So I would ask students, what is it you'd like to learn? And they wanted to learn eruption, or, they wanted to play like Eddie. So if I say, okay, let's do it, it's a little high over their heads, right? So, but if that's your goal, then to have to be told, well, why don't you start smaller, might seem a little not as fun. But if it's attainable, then when you attain it, that's a lot of fun. So that kind of motivation can keep you going. So I have this question that I ask teachers a lot, because I do work with a lot of teachers to help them improve so that they can retain their students when they get them. And that is, what do you, tell them? And most teachers tell their students right away to start playing chords. All right. It's true that you can pick up a guitar, put your fingers on a couple of strings, even if the strings aren't totally clear, and you'll get a sound. Okay, here's a not very well played C chord. To me, okay, you're getting some sounds, and you do know which strings, which fingers on. So maybe that's motivating. But what if you played something that actually sounded like something? You could play Baby Shark. If it's hard for a student to hold down 3 or 4 strings at the same time, then giving them something they have to do to hold down 3 or 4 strings at the same time might not be the best way to start. It might be better to start out with a single note, even if it's or something like that. So that's my first suggestion, is to start out small. And you hearing yourself getting sounds out of your own guitar, I think, is a big motivation. So that's something to think about. Look for something really easy to start with. And that could be a beginning guitar book, or it could be just sounding out simple songs like the ones I just talked about. So that's the first thing. If the thing you're going to do when you pick up your guitar is something you can do, even if it's easy, that's motivating and that's fun. And if you do enough of this if you started on just 3 strings at first and got used to how that felt, whether you use a pick or or just your fingers, either way. And, if you pick up the pick and it's sliding around in your fingers and you don't feel comfortable, put it down and pluck with one finger. I mean, here's the deal with Get Out Your Guitar Day. Make a sound. Make a sound. And yeah, let's not worry at the beginning whether you're going to be a great fingerstyle player or a lightning fast picker. Let's just make some sounds on the guitar that sound pretty good. So that's my first suggestion. And stay on the first three strings. But then once that gets comfortable, you can definitely get into easier chords. So that's my first thought for get out your guitar days. Whatever it is you're going to do when you get your guitar out, let it be something that you think is fun, and just do it, as they say. So first suggestion is to just be in touch with your instrument. And what if you don't have it? A lot of people ask me the question, well, what kind of guitar should I get? And we tend to think, well, I don't know anything yet, so I'm just going to get a cheap one, or that one my brother left in the attic when he moved out. If the strings are hard to press down, that's not going to be very motivating. So find one or get that one to the point where it's not uncomfortable to play. And that's another thing I feel sad when I hear is somebody saying to me, I tried to play, but it was so hard to push it down. My fingers hurt so bad, I just stopped doing it. That's sad because that's not your fault. That's the guitar's fault. And we can fix that. So I guess basically, if I could say the whole theme of the thoughts I have about get out your guitar day is just get it out. So, and if it's something you've thought of playing but you haven't started yet, then let this be a motivating thought for you to get it out and get started with it. So, what else can you do is you would look for tunes that have just a minimum amount of chords or whatever. And there's a lot of information going around. I have one link I can share with you, but when I say there's a lot going around, I mean there is. Once you start looking for it, you'll see it everywhere. And that is the idea of doing, quote, flamenco. And it's really just excuses to use these two chords. Let me get my D back up. A minor and E, which look exactly the same. And you can have a lot of fun with those just because they sound good. And I'm big on using some kind of recording. And the easiest, most accessible recording would be it seems like everyone's got a cell phone. And most of the cell phones seem to have, this is a voice memo program. So you can easily just hit the button and everything you play or say is being recorded, and then you can go back later. So why am I bringing this up now? Because you can record your A minor, E, and then practice those notes you learned on the first three strings. Very simple. So that's for starters. So that's to get you on the road to finding things that you can do at just a very rudimentary level to pick up a guitar and enjoy having it in your hands. So other than that, the next thing I'd like to talk about is what you can listen to help you feel inspired. And YouTube is filled with people that will help you do that. And we have other resources like Spotify and so forth, where you can find people to listen to that I think are motivating. So, and I do find that when people play the guitar for a while, it's not so hard to get to the level where you're able to play a few chords back and forth and find songs that have just 2 or 3 chords that you can start to, have some fun with. And then it's a short step between that and the next thing, which is people saying, I'd like to be able to play fingerstyle. I'd like to be fluent with it. And okay, you've got to take a lot of steps in between to get from I'm having fun with chords and I like the sound of my guitar, but I need to I'd like to play fingerstyle. So how how can I do that? And there's instruction available on that too, and that's something I talk with people about a lot. And even getting to the point of being able to do your own arrangements uh, with just the guitar, which is very cool. But let's talk about listening. And I can throw some notes out there and attach them underneath the in the description for. I mean, I'll say some names for you that you can look up. Let me find them and give you the visual aid here. And again, it's not hard to get onto a streaming service and look for people that do instrumental guitar. And I'm going to show you one guy. This is in the classical. This is a classical guy. And I think if you're into classical, you might like this one album of his. If I can get a big graphic on it. Here we go. Jason Vio, play. All the songs on this album of his are very accessible and fun to listen to, even if you don't know classical guitar very well. So, and then, of course, the king of fingerstyle guitar that we all look towards is Tommy Emmanuel. So I'm going to show you. Oops, not allowed to play anything. Okay, I got it. Okay, there you go. This is the 20th anniversary edition. And if you haven't already heard of him, he's pretty cool. All right. So, and I will share something else. This is a story. This is real. Hi, Tina. Oh, I guess I could put stuff in the chat so you can get, like, here's the first guy. Because he has there you go. Check him out. Now, you have a purple 1 next to your name in the chat. I don't know what that means, but anyway. So, yeah. All righty. So I was just getting ready to share something. This is real. It really happened. So I'm a guitarist. I've been a professional guitarist. As I alluded to earlier, have traveled around pretty extensively playing, doing clinics and workshops with teachers as well as students. And yet, one Christmas season, I should mod you. It says you're a top fan. I didn't know I could have mods. This is my first, what do you call it? YouTube live stream. So I need to find all that stuff out. So, hey, thank you for being my first conversational guest on my first live stream. You are a top fan because right now you're the only fan that's here. Anyway, so even with all my experience and whatever, my husband and I were heading out the door to a Christmas party, and we had to pass by the room where my guitars were. And this thought was really clear in my mind, take a guitar. And I said, no way, I'm not going to walk into this party with a guitar as if I've been invited to play or something like that. I thought it was kind of presumptuous to do that. So I didn't. Then a little bit later on, I'm talking to everybody. Tina says, I thought you were talking to someone. I am, I'm talking to you. I mean, well, everybody. So, yes, we're at the party and everybody's chatting and eating and, like people do at a party, and I hear somebody across the room say to somebody else, "Hey, what happened to that keyboard you used to have in that middle bedroom back there?" And the guy says, "Oh, my son took it when he went to college." And he goes, "Oh." And then he said, "Well, what did you want the keyboard for?" He said, "I thought it might be kind of nice to sing Christmas songs together." And then I felt guilty because if I had my guitar, we could be singing Christmas songs right then. And I thought, when you have a talent like that, even if it's just an interest and your real job is something else, but you can strum a few chords on the guitar. It's still something you have to share. And I felt guilty because I did not bring it with me that night. And then, so I kind of went the other way. Like it was ridiculous to think, well, you can't bring your guitar because everybody will think you're trying to show off. Well, they could think nothing because it could have sat behind the couch all night. But I didn't have it. And an opportunity was there that it could have been a gift to everybody that was at that party. But I didn't bring it. So then I went the complete other way. I said, every time I walk out of the door, okay, not counting the grocery store or something like that, I'm bringing my guitar with me because you just never know. And so I have done that pretty much. And Tina there is my sister, so she can tell you, she can verify that I'm telling the truth, that the guitar goes pretty much everywhere. Ooh, random question. Proud Mary, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Thanks for the question. You're gonna make me play it this afternoon now. See if I can still remember it. I remember the chord progression, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, so, I will just share one opportunity that happened, and that is we went to see a friend in the hospital. It wasn't just the hospital, it was like the thing beyond it before you pass, I guess hospice. And, and when we got to, her room, it was full of people. So that was her whole family was there. So I quickly put the guitar behind a chair and hoped nobody would see it because again, I didn't want to seem like I was just some show off that brought it. But one of her relatives saw me do that and said, "Hey, why don't you get the guitar out? Maybe we could sing some Christmas songs." So we did, and this woman was, sick, and she was pretty far along, and she was already aware that she was pretty far along, so kind of depressed. And now here's her whole family, and we're all singing whatever Christmas songs they wanted to sing. And at one point, she kind of started singing along a little, kind of quietly. So her daughter was really excited about that. And when we left, she said, "Thank you so much for bringing your instrument and sharing it with us." And do you know, she died the next day. And her daughter called me and said she had everybody she loved in the room with her. She We all enjoyed the time singing together and the warmth of that. And so she said, "This is it. I'm ready to go." Anyway, that's maybe an extreme example, but maybe that's why it stays in my head. So, yeah. So, yeah, the first song I learned, since you asked about the first song, Annie, your name's Annie too? I can't I can't see it very well over there. I gotta get a monitor so I have my chat closer. This is my first YouTube live stream, and I haven't figured out all my logistics yet because I didn't even know what the logistics were, but now I'm getting a better idea. Yeah, first song. So I was lucky to get a guitar when I was younger because my parents were afraid to buy things that might then not get used because you know how kids play with something for a little while and they never touch it again. So I finally was able to get a guitar, but no lessons. So I was listening to the radio, and I had that guitar book I referred to earlier that just helped you play some notes and get your fingers going on the guitar. And I played songs that I heard on the radio. So that was how I got started. And that's how I can tell you that there's nothing wrong with humble beginnings. So if you can get your hands on the guitar, and it wasn't the greatest, but as I addressed earlier, at least I was able to push down the strings, especially one at a time. So, but that was how I learned that one. Is I had that basic book of notes, and then basic chords, And then I think I got um, a printout from somewhere that had just the chords on it. And my favorite band at the time was CCR. So Proud Mary was that first song I learned. So there you go. So do not, there's a saying, don't despise the day of small beginnings. So there you go. And, you know, again, my motive here is that it's get out your guitar day. And I thought if ever there was something that I feel like I want to be able to talk about, it's that so many people have guitars and they don't always um, play them. And I don't know if it's fear of failure. Maybe you can tell me if you have one and you don't play it. And the notion of me saying, "Hey, get your guitar out and do something with it," is like, what? What would I do? Okay, now it's kind of, well, it would take so long. I don't know anything. You know, the excuses that start running in your head. Um, uh, So that was the first thing is if you there's a start easy, just use single notes at first and then move on to chords, then just repeat 2 chords, use the recorder on your phone and play some scales or little notes over it, 2 or 3 notes that you think sound good, and that'll just get you started, small beginnings, like I said. So, all right, yeah, one other thing I want to throw out there. And then I'll see if you have any other questions or things you want to talk about. And that is, um, I had, I've referred to my background as a teacher and a clinician. I've traveled around pretty extensively doing clinics and workshops, but most importantly, I have my own students that I work with. In the beginning, it was, only in my home studio, but now I have uh, about half of them are online. So, but I had one student who I see he started with me when he was like 8 years old. So first or second grade. And he was a senior in high school, but he still liked the guitar. I mean, he was super smart and really busy all the time. And, but we had this event and he played for this guy that was coming through town that was kind of a recording artist. I'll give you his name too. You can look him up. And so the student said to the master doing the master class, I haven't had much chance in the last couple of weeks to play because I've been doing all these projects. And so when you're a teacher and you hear that, you think it's the person's going to play really bad and they're just making an excuse, or maybe they're just making an excuse. But the student played something he had prepared, and it didn't sound too bad at all. And so the masterclass guy said to him, you sound pretty good for somebody who hasn't played very much lately. So that tells me that you really do love the guitar. So let me make a suggestion. He said, I know what it is. You think, well, if I sit down to play, then I have to do all my warm-ups and I have to do all my, beginning stuff to get my hands ready. Then I have to do this thing and that thing and the other thing my teacher told me to work on. And by the time you do all that, it's an hour goes by. Well, you don't have an hour, so you just don't do anything. And he said, let's break it down to something easy. Think of something you can do that helps your left hand, find the notes better or get a little more independent, and then find something you can do with your right hand that will help it be more independent, whether you decide, you're going to work with a pick or play with your fingers or whatever. And then play a song or two that you just really like. You can do that in 10 minutes. So that's my suggestion to you all out there is just start small, something easy for your left hand, something easy for your right hand, just to get them warmed up, and then apply it in some song you really like to play. So that's I'll give a little demonstration and then I'll open it up for any questions or whatever. And that'll be it for today. So let me go get my guitar back there. I said I would show them all off, didn't I? Well, really, I already played the steel string guitar here. Oh, this is Miles. Would you like to say hello? Say hello to everybody. All righty. Miles is the co-manager around here. Anyway, so this is a nylon string guitar, and I'll be playing that for a couple of minutes to show you something. And then, but the thing I think I might really like to show you is that one back there, just because it's so unusual. And then, that'll be the last thing. Okay? Okay. Can you go sit in your bed? I don't want to sit in my bed. All right. Something for the left hand. What if all you know is 2 chords? Can you do this? Chord, 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 chord. If you play with the fingers only and not the right hand, that does help you get more secure on where your strings are. And where your strings are is something your mind has to understand, or you're not going to play accurately. So that's something very, very, very basic you can do with your left hand. Then with your right hand, you can strum. This is the easiest strum there is. It's just push all 4 of your fingers out. And I'm going to put that together with this. And that brings me to a song that's very easy to play. That's another original song that I made just for the purpose of sharing with students. You could get comfortable with 2 chords, a simple melody, which is I'm about to play, and feel like you know something. So here's the melody. So the appealing thing about that is it's only on 3 strings. The 3 strings here. You could do it with 1 finger if you needed to. And it Hey Freddie. It's Get Out Your Guitar Day. Did you know that? This is my first ever YouTube live stream, and it's on the topic of, hey, get out your guitar. It's get out your guitar day. So there you go. That's an easy tune. I'm going to put a link in the description box so that you can find that online and learn it and play it. So, okay, one other thing I wanted to do, and that is show off this instrument. Tell me if you've ever seen anything like this, Freddie. I got it about a year ago. What do you think? It may be out of tune. It's called, okay, let me take it back off and show it to you. It's got a round back. And if you've ever seen a charango, it has an armadillo. Sorry, all you people who are animal lovers. I know it's awful. So that's why they make this without that. This is wood. But yeah, the charango, I think it's a Puerto Rican instrument, if I'm not mistaken. And it has, they use an armadillo for the back. So I know, yuck, terrible, but like I said, this one has wood, and but the charango this is not the string arrangement for a charango. I'm not sure what the charango arrangement is, but that's one reason I was interested in this, because it's doubled on the top and it's tuned like a guitar. Look at all those tuning pegs. That's very compelling, isn't it? So the ones on this side are all used. There's a 6 strings right here, 2, 4, 6. So 2 first strings, 2 second strings, 2 third strings. But then there's only one each of the bass strings. And so they didn't even cut out this part of the head because they only need these 3 strings. So I call this the charanguitar. That's not really the name of it, but when I bought it from the guy who designed it, there was this friend of mine that designed it, and he talked to some builders, and they made it for him. And he would use it. I use it with a pick usually. And it can do a mandolin if you do like this. Anyway, yeah, there's Tina, Tina and Freddie, and so I don't know what they call it. He may call it a soprano guitar, and I bought it because I thought, often I combine students into ensembles, and they're all playing the same kind of guitar, the same 6-string instrument that's tuned the same way. This would give us a higher voice, It's nice and high up there anyway. But the problem is, whenever you pick this up for the first time, you try to play it like it's a guitar, but your fingers don't fit in between the strings as well. So you have to kind of change your technique a little. But anyway, that's what I have back here. Guitars of all kinds of varieties. And this thing I affectionately call a charang guitar, but they call it a soprano guitar. They try to call it something, sophisticated. Charang guitar. But anyway, there you go. All right. So I hope, let me get my other stand. Yeah, I know, it's cool, isn't it? So with that and a bass, even if you had like 4 or 5 guitars that were exactly the same, you'd have one high voice and one low voice in addition. So that's kind of cool. So I can play one more song of my own, and again, open it up for questions if there's anybody there that has questions, or we can just chat. So the last song I'm going to play is one of my newer ones. It's called Peaceful Ever After. I wrote it with the idea that it's going to be like a Christmas meditation, but since it's not Christmas, we can just meditate for Valentine's Day. What do you say? Here we go. Pardon me, got to check the tuning. That thing I feel impossible to tune on the moment, but right, here we go. Peaceful Ever After. All right, there we go. High and Dry, Radiohead. I'm not actually taking requests. You know what I'm talking about? I'll tell you. Get out your guitar day. Today's Get Out Your Guitar Day, and we've spent the last 45 minutes talking about why people are held back from doing that and why we should do it and all that kind of thing. So this is being a live stream. It'll be up here, so you can preview that if you want. And good for you. Well, maybe you would like to share from your perspective what having a day for getting out your guitar might mean. I think those of us who, like you, get it out every day because you teach or you play, or sometimes we lose the perspective of people who are still finding their way with it and don't feel so excited about getting it out because they think they stink. So anyway, if there's no statements or comments or questions at this point, I'm going to say thank you for hanging out with me. And I hope you feel inspired to get your guitar out today and every day. So there you go. So thank you for being here. And I will be back soon with another installment. So thanks for hanging out, Ott. 251, and I'd like to stop by your channel and see what you're playing over there. What? Hey, Panda Kaizen! Yeah, I want to double on that. That's good. Good for the mind and unwind from the daily rat race. Exactly. That's from Aught 251. So I am definitely going to check out your channel, friend. And Freddie Q. Freddie is a performer as well. He's a cowboy. Freddie Q. And he's my friend too. But I live in Houston, Texas. He lives in South Africa. I don't know where Out is from. And Panda is from the East Coast. So, Panda, did you know that today is Get Out Your Guitar Day? So I thought maybe I would do this. It's not very well done in terms of I have my microphone and it doesn't seem to be very loud. And from UK. Yeah, I wonder if I don't know how these things work. I got to get better at it. But hey, everybody who was here for this, let me get my co-host. Excuse me. Yeah, this is, you've already met Miles a little earlier. Well, now he's a little hyper, so. Yes, and this is going to stay up, I think. I don't think I violate any restrictions, so it'll be here. So, all righty. Well, thank you everybody for being here. I will sign off, and I will put in the description box a link you can follow to get something you can play along with if you're in a very limited level, and watch the schedule, and I'll let you know when I'll be back with another installment and what we'll be talking about. See you later.